Colleagues, I would like us to then start with the closing part of this gathering. But first of all, as we said in the beginning, we had visitors that are coming from in and around the African continent. And I'll ask our SADC Secretariat, Ntate Murakabi, if he's still here, to just give us a word of support from the colleagues and partners from SADC, maybe Kitao Resha Muralo, also other partners from the African continent. Thank you.
My name is Reaboka Murakabi. I'm the acting senior program officer responsible for science, technology, and innovation at the SADC Secretariat. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the government of South Africa through the Department of Science, Technology, and Innovation by organizing this important summit. Yesterday, as the SADC Secretariat, we also organized a workshop. It was a policy workshop for the SADC member states on the margins of this particular summit. So we're basically looking at the status of IKS as far as member states are concerned. We're looking at policies, how far member states are in terms of developing policies for IKS. So to date, we only have South Africa, which has IKS policy, which is fully running. And they are about to review the same policy on IKS. Apart from that, most of the member states are way behind, but some are coming because they are about to adopt their national policies. But what is important is when you look at IKS and you look at the SADC industrialization strategy, you can see that if we are to talk about inclusive industrialization of the region, IKS plays a huge role in that area, because you cannot industrialize if you leave some behind. You have to come up with all the tools that you have. The grassroots innovators, the IKS holders, and everyone who contribute to the regional development agenda. The SADC industrialization strategy prioritizes 3 areas. Is pharmaceutical value chains. You also talk about agro-processing and mineral beneficiation. So yesterday, during the IKS policy workshop, we are also looking at we want to develop the IKS strategy for the region. So some areas that we're concentrating on are basically on the pharmaceutical and agro-processing, which are well aligned to the SADC industrialization strategy. Let me just go through the remarks that I have prepared. I just wanted to update you on the activities that were going on yesterday, apart from the summit. So we had a regional policy workshop on the margins of this summit. So over the course of this summit, I was able to attend some of the sessions, and I was able to come during the pitchings that were being done here yesterday. And I listened to some of the youths, some of the brilliant ideas that they were pitching here. And what I can say is that without investing in research and development, it will be difficult for us to industrialize the SADC region. What is also important is the regional collaboration and integration, because South Africa alone cannot achieve what it wants to achieve, because we need all the players. We also need all the experts around the region to come together. The researchers, innovators, entrepreneurs, everyone should come together with the communities also. We also want to bring together the experts in intellectual property, because when you talk about IKS, there are some novel activities that are happening within IKS. You can see when you look at the back there, when you talk industrialization, there are products there that can create factories, that can also create employment for the region. Because when you look at the SADC region, when you look at the unemployment rate in the region, what I can say is we really need to work hard. So, on behalf of the SADC Secretariat, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to DSTI, SADC member states, and all participants for your active engagement, insightful contributions, and unwavering commitment to advancing indigenous knowledge systems as a driver of sustainable development. Over the course of this summit, we have collectively reaffirmed an important reality. Indigenous knowledge is not merely a cultural asset to be preserved. It is a strategic resource that can contribute meaningfully to economic transformation, entrepreneurship, job creation, climate resilience, food security, healthcare innovation, biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable industrial development. Our discussions have demonstrated that indigenous IKS possesses immense untapped economic potential, from traditional medicines and herbal products, indigenous foods, agricultural practices, and cultural and creative industries, to environmental management solutions. These knowledge systems offers opportunities for investment, commercialization, value addition, and inclusive economic growth. However, realizing this potential requires deliberate investment supportive policies. That is why it is important for member states maybe to change the direction by just not developing policies, but develop mission-oriented policies. When you develop the policies, be sure of what you want to address. Don't just develop a policy. We have the current challenges that are facing the region, so we should develop those policies that are addressing the problems or the societal challenges within the SADC region. This summit has also highlighted the importance of ensuring that indigenous knowledge holders and local communities remain at the center of all investment initiatives. Investments in IKS must be guided by principle of equity, respect, prior informed consent, benefit sharing, and community ownership. As the SADC Secretariat, we have developed the Nagoya Protocol on access benefit sharing, and also we have the IKS policy guidelines to assist the member states to develop their own national policies on indigenous knowledge systems. The summit has also reinforced the strategic role of indigenous knowledge systems in supporting the implementation of the SADC industrialization strategy and roadmap and the regional indicative strategic development plan. Indigenous knowledge can contribute significantly to the development of competitive regional value chains, innovation ecosystems, sustainable manufacturing, agro-processing industries, pharmaceutical development, and cultural industries that create employment and wealth across our member states. The issue of collaboration is key in this part because we talked about the national innovation systems. I remember there was a presenter who presented and highlighted on the issue of national innovation systems. Usually we talk about the triple helix, we talk about the public, private sector, and the universities. But we tend to miss the communities when we talk about the national innovation systems. The national innovation system is changing time and time again because new systems are coming into play. Now we have the communities who are the knowledge holders as far as IKS is concerned. Then we have the researchers, we have the research institutions, we have the universities. The knowledge that is there at the communities, we have to make sure that the researchers, when they go to the communities, whatever research that they are doing should also benefit the lives of those indigenous knowledge holders in the communities. That is why we have the access benefit sharing protocol as the region. We had to make sure that every member states that develop the national IKS policy, they also include the issue of benefit sharing. The policy should also emphasize on the benefit sharing. We don't want researchers that are exploiting the communities because that's their knowledge. And we should make sure that we don't play around that. The success of this summit will not be measured by the quality of our discussions alone, but by the partnership we establish, the investment we mobilize, the enterprises we support, and the tangible benefits that reach our communities. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all speakers, panelists, investors, development partners, member states that attended this summit, indigenous knowledge practitioners, exhibitors, organizers, and participants who contribute to the success of this event. Your dedication and expertise have enriched our deliberations and strengthened our collective vision for the prosperous and inclusive SADC region. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you so much, Ntate Murakabi, for those words. And now we'll like to maybe first invite the youth, students and youth representative to speak on behalf of all the three universities. Tulufelo from Digest Aid, are you here? There she is. I think she was one of the winners last night. So, Utlabulela, on behalf of the University Etaro. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Tulufelo Mukwena. I'm a Northwest University alumni. So when I was in my honors year, that is in 2024, I was incubated into this Innovation Hub program where it was a 2-week entrepreneurship class where we had facilitators, we were taught marketing, finance, how to, I guess, get a idea, how to like formulate a problem in order to get an idea in which you could find a solution, which you can turn into a, I guess, a business. So in the end, we were asked to submit business pitches, where if you were chosen, you get incubated into the program. So in the past year, we were taken to various platforms like the TRIC, the CSIR, the South African Science Forum, and UP, where we were allowed to like pitch and get feedback. So when we went to the TRIC, they expressed how we should dig into like the problem of our project so that like our product can become the solution. Like it can have like when you dig into a problem, that's when you get like multiple problems and then your product becomes a solution, right? And we got to the CSIR where we were told about like regulations and compliance, in which the Innovation Hub created a workshop in which we were told about marketing and packaging. So yes, thank you.
This is the heritage we are leaving to the youth such as yours, Tulufelo. Thank you so much. Then representing the indigenous knowledge holders, indigenous people and local communities, and the small medium enterprises at the back, Itlava Me Nondumiso Pasha. Me Pasha, are you here? Please come through. There is Me Pasha coming through. While she's coming, there is someone who lost their car keys. So if you lost your car keys, please see me after. And also N. Butelezi, please also see me after these sessions. Thank you. Me Pasha, welcome. Please, let's give her a hand.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. We are just coming on behalf of Sejong team. We are coming to say we are so grateful for this platform. We are grateful for this long journey that is bearing fruits today. All the way from rural areas of Sekhukhune in Limpopo. I just want to briefly just highlight the gains of this journey, because we are the practical example, and we are encouraging our South African young people to help us to formalize this indigenous industry. I just want to say, with all the speakers that have spoken here, there's only one part that is running short. That is a working recipe. The working recipe is to mobilize communities, is to position them, change their mindset, which is called social facilitation. We need a character behavior change model that's gonna talk to individuals on the ground.
we also need to fight the dynamics that prevail on a grassroots level. We could sit here and throw stones on professionals, but we need now to take a very harsh introspection on the ground, because we are very negative as Africans. We are very destructive. When I started this journey, I was called by names, I was stealing, I was robbing the community, I was having money, and I was coming to give them crumbs. That's why today when I'm standing here, I'm a little bit emotional, because these two communities gave me the struggle wards who stood by me unconditionally. And they are there at the back, they are representing those two communities. They died with me on the journey. They were shamboked with me. They've got scars. So I'm surrendering this morning to you, all of you today, to say, invite us in communities. Let's rebuild the social infrastructure that's suitable to receive all this economic investment. The social infrastructure that's gonna talk to a black child to transform their mind, soul, spiritually. Let's remember where we are coming from with the struggle of South Africans, and tell each other real stories that's gonna break the bondage of our culture. I thank you, and I cannot enough say thank you to the whole consortium of DSI. They picked us up when we didn't know a little what we're gonna be achieving. They supported us, they became our parent, they nurtured us. They sat in meetings which were difficult. They stood and advocated for us. I just want to highlight the names a little bit. Dr. Shabalala Mamune has been a woman who stood by us in this executive. Dr. Andile, I've never seen him, but he gave me all the connections, and they never knew who I was. That is what is humbling me, that they don't work with people they know. They look at the concept you are bringing at the table, and they go and run and help you to achieve. May the great Lord answer us as Africans and use this platform maximally. Now I am surrendering to say, use Sejong as a platform for industrializing the indigenous knowledge. May the great God bless all of you. Amen.
Thank you so much, Mem Nondumiso, for those words on behalf of your community, but also on behalf of all the elders that we work with. I'll then turn this program to focus on really the people that made this event in particular possible. This event wouldn't be possible if it were not for one on the program, the University of Venda, the University of Limpopo, the Northwest University, the National Science and Technology Forum, and the Innovation Hub. But also on the side, supporting them, it was the Indigenous Knowledge Base Technology Innovation Program, or consortium of other universities that you saw launching their labs yesterday. So I'd like to invite on stage Professor Wobonani Nechandama from the University of Venda on behalf of Professor Fulpero Netswera. Let's give her a round of applause.
On behalf of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Fulpero Netswera, ours is to again extend our sincere gratitude to you, Dr. Chabalala, of course, representing the DSTI and all the participating universities and the organizations as stated. As a learning organization based in the rural areas, the words that has just been alluded by the SEDAC Secretariat, Re Murakabi, about starting to focus on issues of benefit sharing was one of the issues that we noted as a responsibility that the University of Venda cannot undermine. We came, we exchanged ideas, we learned from other universities. This morning I had a conversation also with the Sachi chair, and we will continue to learn as the university from like minds. We've connected, we've exchanged ideas, we've exchanged, of course, contact details, and we've noted the key issues that emerged from these conversations. So it is important for us to recommit program director on behalf of the university that we have learned that our challenge is not that we don't have ideas, no talent, no good policies. Of course, others are outdated, but it is to do with our transformative agenda in making sure that IKS plans are executed. So before I go and sit down, I want to just suggest a few things. Dr. Chabalala, I'm sure you're going to integrate that with your team. I think we need to keep this going. And we need to start working. The journey, of course, starts now. So I was also thinking we need to make sure that this community of practice has series of exchange, even if it's online, and in a form of webinars, and making sure that we continue the exchange and the formidable insights that we have noted. Of course, we recommit our support for the students and for the communities, particularly, of course, the marginalized ones. But this summit program director also afforded the students opportunity to network among themselves and to challenge each other. So I was wondering that maybe we should continue to have, even if it's a once a quarter, kind of students coming together and sharing and practicing, and the offers that we were given, instead of, for example, SABS to have sessions per university, we could come together for those training and so forth, which is a good way to exchange. And of course, I mean, there are a lot of other things that we're going to be exchanging notes with you, just as for us to commit and to thank the coordinating team, Dr. Makanike and your team. We really would like to commit our support that you continue conversing with your peers and ensuring that these activities do continues. Other than that, you've been having it hard the whole week. Let's continue to network and exchange numbers so that this does not become just another talk show.
Thank you so much, Bo Nechandama. I will then proceed to request Dr. Bonginkosi Dladlama from the UL. If you are here, please let's give him a hand.
Thank you very much, Program Navigator. And then thank you to all the delegations that are here. And then I would like to greet you as honorable delegations, honorable guests, distinguished speakers who have spoken since we have arrived here from the 2nd of this month to this day, colleagues and future leaders, the knowledge owners, good morning. I've already been introduced. My name is Bonginkosi Dladlama. And then over the past 3 days, we have witnessed something truly significant. We have seen the coming together of ancient wisdom and modern science, which was strongly encouraged to say, let not this be the end, but let there be a series of events of this nature in order for us to inspire, economic growth. So we have seen policy meet practice, and most importantly, we have seen the beginning of a new era. Inclusive economic path for South Africa and the African continent, because I believe what is going to emanate from this conference, it is not something that will be confined to South Africa, but it is something that will obviously, take the continent by storm and the world at large. That's because we are living in a global village. Now, this summit, in our view, speaking on behalf of the University of Limpopo, was not just another event. It was a summit that inspires, economic growth, and thanks to the partners, which is DSTI and the 3 universities that has already been mentioned. So, in the build-up to this event, we have built this event was built on a clear foundation of a white paper, as you have heard earlier on science, technology, and innovation, and the decadal plan. So both which call for the use of knowledge systems, and then when we look at the back there, we see the manifestation of some of those knowledge systems, including African science, to reduce poverty and create jobs and redress inequality. So, a profound question, I believe, should be asked. What is it that we have achieved through this summit? 4 things we have achieved in as far as we are concerned. We have revived the IK-based research and development and innovation interface symposium. This is what this entire event is about. Showcasing the research and innovation in African natural medicines, cosmeceuticals, nutraceuticals, and health infusions. We have demonstrated that indeed South Africa has the capacity to develop sovereign high-quality bio-natural products. And secondly, we have launched the Youth Student Jobs Program. Those that had attended the pitching session, I'm sure they can bear testament to that, where young innovators pitched their ideas to the potential investors, the incubators, and then we, of course, saw talent, we saw courage, we saw future job creation, and not just job seekers, particularly from our student community. Now, thirdly, our bio-natural products from the medium, small, micro enterprises exhibition, which is at the back there, gave an enterprise a real platform to access markets. Some of them, I believe that they managed to close deals. Some of them, they received some promises to say from this point henceforth, the likelihood is that they may be supplying some of the stores through the links that they got from this summit. And then fourthly, we celebrate the IK Soft Launch Awards, which we enjoyed very much last night, recognizing the wisdom keepers, the outstanding scientists, enterprising youth, and women who carried the brand of poverty and marginalization but refused to be defined by it. Now, also as a partner to the summit, we would like to express our appreciation to the SADC Secretariat, DBSA, CIFDA, TIA, NRF, amongst others. Please don't feel dismayed if I did not mention you. We acknowledge your presence here. Now, the way forward that we propose as the University of Limpopo, we believe that this summit was more than speeches. So we leave here with a new core investment commitments for research infrastructure. You heard NRF during the panelist discussion what they said. We also leave here with a pipeline of youth-led enterprises ready for incubation and mentorship. Some of those that were pitching here were pitching ideas that don't have anything tangible as yet, but there is potential from the concept that they presented here. And then a clear matchmaking between the micro, small, medium enterprises and the venture capital. Those critiques that the pitchers received from the adjudicators, some of those adjudicators, as we have been informed, are from the likes of your, DBSA, and in their comments, they have also expressed that some of the concepts that were presented there are really bankable concepts, and they would like to consider that. So with that, we're saying we appreciate that. So the message is simple. African knowledge systems are not just folklore. They are frontier science. They are investment ready, and they are job creators. So as I conclude, I want to thank the DSTI, our hosting universities, which is my university, University of Venda, Northwest University, and the Innovation Hub, as well as the NSTF. I thank every wisdom keeper, every student pitcher, every scientist who refused to give up on local solutions. And I thank you, our international and local partners, for believing that a thriving Africa is built by African minds. So let us leave here not just being informed, but transformed. The work does not end here today, as Professor Nechandama has said, but it is the beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dladlama. And now I'll call on stage one of our shining scientists, an astrophysicist that has contributed a great deal in the world of physics. Ndati Midupi, representing the Northwest University. Please come through.
My capacity, good morning, good afternoon. I'm here in my capacity as a Deputy Dean in the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, Northwest University. I want to say that I feel honored and privileged that my institution is part of the organization of this very auspicious event, which we have held in the last 3 days. About 2 years ago, I was in Muruleng attending a cultural event there. And because they saw that we had a university badge, one of the ladies in the audience cried out to us and say, "You are training our students to do IKS, but they are sitting at home unemployed." I think this event really brings hope. It shows the potential, it shows what can be done, and therefore I wish to congratulate the organizers, Dr. Chabalala and other institutions represented there, that you see there. It is clear from this summit that IKS has a huge potential to contribute significantly to the economy of Africa, especially when interfaced with science. We have seen the labs and the investment done by the different organizations in the videos we saw last night, ARC, CSIR, and the various universities. Those are very impressive. But what would be amazing is if we take what we have learned in the last 3 days and make it inform the curriculum that we have in the various IKS centers that we have in the country. And actually, our own IKS center at the Northwest University has started to review the offerings that we are giving. From the next 2 years, in the next 2 years, we will no longer be training our students only on IKS topics, but we will make sure that when students graduate from our IKS center, they have seen the inside of a laboratory. That makes it very easier for them to deal with scientists, and that makes it very easier for them to also make sure that that interface is maintained between IKS and science. So, for example, in our first year of training, in the new curriculum that we are developing, we will have students attend laboratories in chemistry, biology, biochemistry, and also even attend some basic mathematics. This is to prepare them for this wonderful interface that we have been seeing in the last 3 days. And we also want to completely move the IKS into our faculty so that we no longer offer BIKS, but BSc in IKS. This is really making sure that, thank you, this is to make sure that really our students, when they graduate with IKS degrees, they are up to date with what is happening in the industry. So this is what we have experienced in the last 3 days really tells us that we are in the right direction. I hope we receive the same inspiration in other institutions so that we make sure that we graduating students to be able to create job opportunities for others, and also we no longer hear the cry of parents at home that our graduates do not have jobs or are sitting at home. And we have even included entrepreneurship in our offerings as well. So this is quite excellent. There was a mention of such chairs early today and yesterday, and I'm very proud to say that our university is a beneficiary of 2 such chairs, and therefore really, again, we are grateful from this. I would like to end by echoing the representative from Univen when she said that this should not be the only summit we have, but that maybe we should have this on an annual basis so that we inspire and we accelerate this industrialization of African IKS. With those words, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Ntate Midupi, we have decided to decentralize the interface conferences. So the individual universities are allowed to have their own interface conferences, which will then culminate into another of this type in the next iteration of the summit. So thank you so much. Then I will like to invite Ms. Yancy Nehaus, one of the leaders of the event manager, the National Science and Technology Forum. Yancy, please come through. Please, let's give her a hand.
Thank you very much, Ang. It's been a humbling experience to be involved. I have felt very privileged to get to know the stakeholders in IK that we don't necessarily have contact with, although the NSTF is a broad and a wide forum and represents a vast network. This is a network which is very specialized in some ways, and yet broad in its own way as well. It has been very good to get to know you. I found the summit very productive, and I think there are indications that there will indeed be follow-up actions. There will be future summits, I assume. And that this won't be the end of it. So please, I urge you to start working on the follow-up actions as soon as you get back to your university, your business, or your office. I enjoyed the student pitches very much. I was impressed with the vision and the creativity of the students. And I must make an exceptional remark about the manure products. I thought that was wonderful, and I was cheering it on. It is such an outrageous idea to make soap out of manure, and that is what we need. Well, we need both common ideas, obvious ideas, as well as outrageous ideas. And the outrageous ideas are often the ones that grab the attention and the imagination, and they have such potential to become successful businesses. This platform, this summit, has created a network. And as Katlehu Ratshoko said, it's, that in itself is an investment. Now, I hope that the summit, I'm sure that the summit actually creates progress towards having a critical mass in Indigenous knowledge. And I'm also hoping that the NSTF can assist in growing this network going forward. Ms. Malandisa, who gave the high-level summary, referred to NSTF and said that NSTF's involvement signals long-term sustainability of this summit initiative. And I want to say that we are committed to making that happen. The NSTF is a broad network. As I said last night, we've got more than 150 organizational members, and it includes the science councils and all the universities, but it also includes most of our members are actually private sector members, so businesses, NGOs, and professional bodies. And the professional bodies number more than 50 of these members of ours, and they come from a wide variety of backgrounds. So there are scientists who, individual scientists who are professionals. There are also engineers of various kinds, various branches. There are technologists The IT professionals are there as well, and teachers. So I'm hoping that we can promote IK among our members going forward and as a follow-up to this conference. Then, don't want to keep you too long, but it occurred to me while we were meeting over these 3 days that it's important to be visible and to be heard. And that is perhaps the success of a business. That if you want to have a business, you must actually come to a forum like this and participate. Do your pitch, do your exhibition, interact with people. And you have to do that wherever you are as a business. There's interaction with your market and your stakeholders and your supporters and your funders. And for that, you have to be visible. You have to speak and be out there, and you have to brand. You have to pay attention to branding, make sure people see your brand. But also, it's important to be visible so that you can be recognized for what you're doing. Even if you're not promoting a business. That's what the awards are about. So I'm very pleased that we had the IK Awards last night. And I think that really helps to promote a cause. The NSTF runs the NSTF South 32 Awards every year. And we have many categories as part of that. The one I want to tell you about is the innovation category for SMMEs. And I want to urge those of you who have SMMEs or are growing SMMEs to please look out for the NSTF Awards and participate. Get yourself nominated so that you can get national recognition while standing among scientists. We all recognize that the innovation chain is part of the scientific chain. It's part of the scientific endeavor. And so if you've made progress in that regard, and you're proud of that progress, then, participate, be out there, be visible, and let us see you. Besides that, being visible and being heard gives you confidence, and it restores pride. I want to refer to what Mr. Durham said yesterday, that ignoring indigenous knowledge is part of South Africa's troubled past. Unfortunately, we're still having to deal with that. We're still having to deal with people turning a blind eye to what they think is unimportant, and indigenous knowledge is often categorized as such. So I am very much in favor of IK holders and IK practitioners and anyone working with IK being seen and being heard, and for there to be restoration in that regard. To the Innovation Hub, thank you very much for the collaboration and the joint problem solving in making this summit happen. To the university partners, thank you very much for getting the students and the SMMEs here, and not forgetting, thank you for your research and advancing the cause of knowledge generation. And then lastly, to the department, it's a long road that NSTF has traveled with the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation over the past 31 years. We value you as a key partner. And I must tell you, years ago, we did an IK conference for DSTI, well, what was called DST then. And the difference is dramatic. There is no comparison between this conference, this summit, and that conference. Because at that conference, it was all about talking about IK. the main concern was preserving the knowledge and just recognizing that it's important that the knowledge that traditional knowledge holders have. But this summit has gone so much further in terms of recognizing that it will contribute to socio-economic growth. And I want to commend the DSTI and in particular Dr. Shabalala for making this summit happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yancy. It's indeed a co-creation, and all your efforts are really appreciated. Then, last, we will invite the acting CEO of another event manager, the Innovation Hub Management Company, Ms. Govender. Please welcome, ma'am. And while she's coming through, N. Butelezi, please see me afterwards. And also, I will ask Ntate Mamahlo, Ntate Tabisa to take your emails to the AV, which we'll just show just now.
Thank you, Dr. Shabalala. Program Director, allow me to begin by acknowledging the Acting DDG, Dr. Kenny Tenza, in his absentia. A special acknowledgement to Dr. Ank Shabalala, our distinguished speakers, panelists, and moderators whose insights, expertise, and thoughtful contributions enriched the summit and helped unpack the opportunities, challenges, and the immense potential within the indigenous knowledge and innovation landscape. We also extend our sincere appreciation to our valued partners, the NSTF. Thank you very much, Nancy, for all your assistance. The University of Venda, the University of Limpopo, and the Northwest University for their continued collaboration and commitment to advancing the indigenous knowledge and indigenous knowledge-based innovation in South Africa. On behalf of the Innovation Hub, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Department of Science and Technology and Innovation for conceptualizing and hosting this important summit, and for creating a platform that brings together the researchers, the innovators, knowledge holders, investors, and policymakers. Over the past 2 days, we've been privileged to engage in meaningful conversations that have reinforced both the value and potential of the indigenous knowledge system as drivers of innovation, inclusion, and economic development. We also heard compelling perspectives on the realities of population growth, inequality, and the urgent need for investment in the sector. Equally inspiring were the stories of entrepreneurs and innovators whose journeys demonstrate the transformative impact that targeted support, partnerships, and investment can have. So rather than revisiting the many valuable discussions that were already shared, the Innovation Hub would like to reaffirm 3 areas that will remain central to our work moving forward. Firstly, we will continue strengthening the commercialization of research emerging from our partner universities while supporting the growth and sustainability of indigenous knowledge-based enterprises. Secondly, we remain committed to developing mechanisms that will accelerate the growth, the scaling, and market readiness of innovations within our portfolio and within the broader innovation ecosystem. Thirdly, we will continue expanding support for intellectual property protection and registration to ensure that indigenous knowledge holders and innovators are empowered to safeguard and derive value from their innovations. These priorities are not merely aspirations, they are commitments that we look forward to advancing over the coming year. We are excited to return next year and share the progress, partnerships, and impact achieved through this collective effort. Once again, we thank the Department of Science, Technology, and Innovation for creating this platform and for recognizing the Innovation Hub as a valued partner in this important initiative. We look forward to deepening our work within the participating universities and extending the program to additional institutions across the country, ensuring that more innovators and knowledge holders can benefit from the opportunities it creates. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize the dedicated individuals and teams whose hard work made this summit possible. From the Innovation Hub, thank you to my colleagues, Dr. Puti and Ms. Lina Nementandani, whose commitment and coordination contributed significantly to the success of this event. To the NSTF team, led by Ms. Jansi Niehaus and Ms. Vilna Eckstein, thank you very much for your partnership and unwavering support throughout this journey. To the DSTI team, particularly Dr. Ank Shabalala and Ms. Mamoni, thank you for your leadership, guidance, and dedication in bringing this important initiative to life. To our university partners, Northwest University, Dr. Mateo and Dr. Lelo, University of Limpopo, Dr. Ashwell Ndala, University of Venda, Dr. Justice Makaneka. Thank you for your collaboration, expertise, and commitment to strengthening the indigenous knowledge innovation ecosystem. Finally, to all delegates, exhibitors, entrepreneurs, investors, knowledge holders, and guests, thank you for your participation and for contributing to the success of this summit. Together, we have demonstrated that indigenous knowledge is not only a vital part of our heritage, but also an important catalyst for innovation, economic opportunity, and sustainable development. We wish you all safe travels and every success as we continue this important journey together. I thank you.
Thank you so much, colleagues. We have now come to an end of this summit. And before we graciously send all of you home, and we trust that you will travel safe, those of you who are driving, you'll make sure that you are following the rules and the laws of the road, making sure that the drivers rest, because they are transporting people. Life is sacred. Within the department, IKS has been given to our Deputy Minister, Dr. Nomalungelo Gina, who so much wanted to be here with us all and give a vote of thanks. But she was sent to accompany the Deputy President to India. As you know, India is the current chair of the BRICS. So there are a few remarks that I will just say in a minute on her behalf. However, also, please allow me to break all protocols in terms of what I'd like to share with you, because you all have made history today or in the past 3 days. And as history makers, as trendsetters, I think your names should be recorded in the annals of history. They say charity starts at home. So let me start with my colleagues at the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, especially the executive that allowed us to have this meeting led by Dr. Mlungisicele, who's our Director General, and who was well represented by our DDG, Dr. Tenza, on the first day and yesterday. But this wouldn't happen. There was no way in which this will happen if it wasn't for my colleagues, Ms. Mamoni Tang. Please give her a hand of applause. I don't know if Metang is in the house. She's here, she's all around making sure that everyone is happy. But with Metang is also Memuntuedi, our PA, Mapolo Muntuedi. You also had Menon Dumiso saying that there is a gentleman in our department, Dr. Grootboom. You won't see him anywhere. But the labs that you all saw, the majority of them is because of his handiworks. So please honor Dr. Grootboom from our office, and also for the report that we listened to, that he put together with the colleagues that I'll thank later on. So to the IK-based tech innovation team, even myself as your colleagues, I say thank you for your loyalty and making sure that this is possible. There is also another team within the department that worked with the communications local organizing team. The communication teams from the event managers at the 3 universities. I can only think about Ntate Matikane, Julian. They made sure that we follow the protocols of how the colors are supposed to be. Ain't everything so beautiful and vibrant in terms of the presentation of the conference? So I'd like to give it up to the communications team of the department, but also the communications team of the event management. Please give them a round of applause. Events like this are very difficult to put together. There are always safety issues. And often there are people that we don't even see. Sometimes we disrespect them because of our positions. So I'd like to honor Baba Jim, Pahlele, Sis Pichunia, the security staff of the department that made sure that everyone has got their tags, scanned together with the staff here at this facility to make sure that no unwanted guests are in this place, but everyone is free and safe. So to the security, let's give them a hand. And wherever you see these brothers and sisters, please say thank you wherever you meet them, because security is essential. There were also 2 other units, departments within the department that they were part of the local organizing committee. They both came from our Africa multilateral cooperation, the team that deals with bilaterals, one country to another, but also the group of countries like SADC. So to my colleagues, Ngwane, Linda Gama, Kahiso, Karabo, and the team Mendri, Nzane, and the team, we say thank you so much for supporting this work, for giving us a hand, and also giving us tips in terms of international protocol so that we don't offend anyone. I think it's a hand. I said this is making history, and often history makers, the pioneers, the mkombandlelas, the people that set up the foundations, they are never known. We never talk about them. We never mention them. And yes, we are left with 10 minutes, but in these 10 minutes, allow me to thank each and every one, especially people who came on stage, helped co-create the various panels and platforms. I feel I owe it to you through a true African culture where we say if we call your name, you live forever. It's not just a belief, it is a fact. And I would like to, again, start with some of the people that instigated IKS in the beginning. You heard from the beginning that some of the first IKS meetings happened at the University of the Northwest. We were still very young. And I'd like to thank the University of the Northwest. Ntate Mindupi is not here. Ntate Joe, I think they've left. But also with the staff from the IKS Center, Ntate Lele, Ntate Mutheo, and your team, we would like to thank you and call you by name, that your names live forever within the IKS space. Thank you so much. These initial battles of putting IKS not only within the national system of innovation, but in health, in education, in everything that we do, was then in the beginning fought together with the University of Venda. Boni Chandama were there. Farero Machide were there as young scholars in those days. So I'd like to thank Justice Makanike, Nebudedi, and the team from Univen and your leaders. Thank you so much for being our backbone in this work. When we're thinking of growing the work, especially when it came to the Bachelor of Indigenous Knowledge Systems, the University of Limpopo raised its hand, and things didn't always go well. But now, seeing the science department of the University of Limpopo really leading the charge in making sure that natural sciences, health sciences, other biological sciences, agricultural sciences come together. Ashwell, Maureen Mohanedi, and the leaders from Limpopo, Ntate Khomiswane, Baba Bonginkosi, would like to thank you for supporting us, but also for leading the way, for pioneering the science of IKS. So for this, we give you a hand. When the students met us and confronted us, especially the BIK students, met us and confronted us in various places, as Ntate Midupi said, that you are producing these IKS students, but they're just coming home doing nothing. So you are contributing to unemployment whilst wasting resources. We thought it would be great for us to introduce entrepreneurship, starting with the BIKS students and then spreading to other science students. And the Innovation Hub, whom we're already working with in terms of training the SMMEs, they said it may be a little bit difficult because the students have their own programs. However, we managed to design an entrepreneurship program for our students at these 3 universities. And you saw for yourselves how these students are really acing it up. So Dr. Puti, Cislina, Ms. Govender, to the CEO, and other partners that were at the Innovation Hub when we're conceptualizing this. We say thank you so much for taking risk, but making things happen, and also for being a core investor in this initiative. For that, we say thank you. And Yancy, Velna, Sismankwe, Bennett from the NSTF. We tried to do this last year. It wasn't coming together because we didn't want just another gathering. We wanted something unique, but also wanted to demonstrate that when we say IKS, we cannot deal with mediocre. We wanted to present an experience and not just a gathering. And with your experience of working with the department, we were very happy when we were told you are one of the greatest organizers of science gatherings. And to yourself, Yancy, and the team, please pass this on to the board, that we say thank you for having co-created an amazing event for us. For that, we say thank you. Now, there were a lot of facilitators that we reached out to, a lot of speakers that we reached out to. And of course, for those, I cannot call you by name because time means finishing in time means finishing in time. But I'd like to honor each one of you, all the way from Limpopo to KZN to Eastern Cape, both in government, in universities, people that we didn't know from various incubators and accelerators, business sector, colleagues from national and other national departments that came and said, we'll help you co-create this, we'll help you make this event a success. I would like to thank you, my dear colleagues and friends. And from our side, we say yes, we must have another one, and it should be annual. And actually, already we have been supported for that from our executive committee, that yes, this event sounds like something that should be an annual event. Even before we started, just by presenting the concept. So it's a yes. Those of you who said this must keep on going on, we say yes, this must keep on going on, but next time we will have even more co-creators. So the logos must fill the entire screen in our next one. So let me then just end up with the words of the Deputy Minister in response to the summary that was read here. This summary that was read will be part of the report, will form a backbone of the report. And as I said, it is the works of Dr. Grootboom, Dr. Nomzamo, Dr. Mlu from UKZN, Ntate Mahase at the back. So we really appreciate your energy, and let's see if I am able to read this. If not, if my machine is dying, then all those thanks will be the thanks, the vote of thanks from the department. But essentially, the message is that, one is that we indeed need an investment summit of this nature to be expanded, and also to have branches of this kind of investment in the provinces. So each province should replicate this, and then we then converge later on and have a national one. That's the first message. Secondly, The second message is that we need to prioritize industrialization. We've been doing research for a long time. So it's important to start thinking about various industries that we can put together with the pharmaceuticals or medicines as number one. Then the other ones can then follow afterwards. Number three is that the executive is saying we are done with just writing policies and writing policies. It is time for us to implement policies. So all the things that we listed here that we need to implement, when we put together the report, that report should be a plan which says, this is what we're going to do, by what time, who will be responsible for what, and what resources should be made available for that to happen, and there should be timelines, there should be deadlines as to when these things are supposed to be achieved. Second last, we need to start thinking very clearly about curriculum development so that our curriculum is actually relevant. We cannot produce students that cannot create jobs for themselves. So entrepreneurship should be well interfaced in all curricula, and I added that all research laboratories that we have should have an enterprise development center attached to them so that the students that are doing the science or learning whatever they are learning outside the science, in humanities, in social sciences, are also trained and equipped in enterprise development. Because we cannot have a nation of people that are, of youth or students that are job seekers. There's no one creating jobs today. You have to create jobs for yourselves. And that's the future of Africa. And finally, was that the DSTI is committed to working with all the partners in co-creating a new fund. The last conversation that we had with colleagues from TIA, from the DTIC, from the NRF, SAB, we trust that we'll have the same conversation with SITFA and other partners that are in the space of investing in innovation and industrialization. We are committed to making sure that we work as partners, as equals, in co-creating that type of a fund so that you, as innovators, whether you are a student or a scientist, you'll be able to then tap into this fund, but not only for a short journey. You should tap into a fund that should propel you into industrialization. With those words, my dear colleagues, let me thank you. May you all go home safely. Please know, whoever controls your heritage controls your future. And whoever controls science and technology controls the world. So go and dare dream. Thank you so much.